Hello! Here's my very honest opinion on what it was like to take the train from Portland, Oregon to Albany, New York in coach. First of all, it was fancy in there. Look at that. Look at her go. Look at that. Hell yeah, way better than an airport. There was no customs or security. You're basically ready to go within 30 minutes. Seeing a sticker like this is about as much security as you're going to get, which, pros and cons, it's easy to get through. When you board, they tell you what train car you're in, but other than that, you can sit wherever you want. Look, these are not the fanciest trains, very 80s, but they got the plugs for you, so you can do all your modern technology with a beautiful view. Accessibility, friends, this is important. These are the stairs. You can access your luggage, a seat, and bathrooms all on the first floor just fine, but if you want to go up to the observation car, that requires the stairs. For the bathrooms, they have these cool little dressing room areas. Hi, it's me again. Hello, that's my train outfit. This is a good spot to change your clothes, to get into night clothes or change into something new. Other than that, it's a whatever bathroom, but it does the bathroom job. The plumbing works. You can brush your teeth. When you're sitting at your own seat, the train car is still pretty comfy. Like, you have a lot more room than when you're in an airplane. So you could still work there if you're not feeling like being in the observation deck the whole time or don't want to hog it. Let me real talk with y'all about sleep. It was not the greatest the first night. We made the mistake of sitting in the very front of the train car, thinking like, oh hell yeah, no one behind us. We're geniuses. We were not geniuses because people were going through the door at the end of the train car all night. Not fun. The second night we moved to the middle and we slept a lot better. But my pro tip for sleeping well is having an arsenal of the following. 1. ZzzQuil or similar sleeping agent. 2. Eye mask. I call mine Pillow Eyes. 3. Earplugs. 4. Pillow. 5. A blanket. Optional 6. A cuddly human being to sleep with. They recline out kind of like a lazy boy, but there's a lot of movement and, it's not ideal, but these views the next day are, they're worth it. The observation deck is the best part, y'all. I cannot stress that enough. Look at that. It's so fancy. You get beautiful floor-to-ceiling windows. There's seats that are facing outward, a few booths to sit in. It's nice, and you get this view. Doing whatever boring thing you were originally going to be doing, but like with this view. Come on. Sometimes you get to watch other trains pass, which is also like fun in that childhood way. You know the one. The snack car. Let me tell you all about the snack car real quick. If you're a vegan, the snack car is going to be hard. There is one thing you can eat, and it is a tamale for $6.50. If that's not up your alley, you should pack your own snickety snacks. We brought apples to have something fresh and a giant jar of peanut butter. They let you bring pocket knives on, which is nice, so you could even cut cucumbers and carrots and do a wrap or something like that, or a fancier Sammy. I packed a lot of snacks, and I was so thrilled that I did. I got tons of good snickety snacks the whole time, and had a pretty nice time. But if you're not into that, you can always just buy a bunch of tamales if you're vegan, and if not, they've got hamburgers and hot dogs and stuff like that. They also sell booze, which you should also secretly pack yourself, and hot water for coffee, which you should just pack some instant coffee. An important thing about the food, though, if you were like, oh, I'm gonna dine on the dining car, it's gonna be so nice. I have bad news for you, pal. Since COVID, they have not let plebes like us in coach in the dining car. Bummer! So, I know you were planning on eating those fancy meals, but you gotta pack your own or eat those tamales. Choice is yours, my friend. Choose wisely. After a while, the view becomes a routine, so you start to read or do whatever you do to pass the time. You could watch TV. I read a lot. Download shows first because you can't stream them because there's no service. So you read and you watch outside. Then you read and you watch outside and you read and you watch outside. I packed 3 books for my there and back trip, and it was pretty good. You can also bring stuff to do. I worked on my novel. There's people playing cards. Rhodey brought a small instrument called an orba. We brought a Scrabble board. If you have an electronic instrument you could bring, it works. I truly can't count how many Scrabble games we played. We played a lot. Especially when the land got a little boring like this. No shade at this boring part of the country. We eventually made friends. This is my number 1 pro tip. Make friends on the train, y'all. This lady happened to also be from the town in France that my husband and I are moving to. Look at that coincidence. And she's a lifelong friend now. Whoop whoop. Another thing to make the train like that much more exciting, if you want, is to get a train outfit. I loved dressing up for the train. You don't have to be a freak-a-leak like me, though. You can definitely just wear like yoga pants and sweatshirts. That's what most people were doing. But getting dressed up made me feel like I was in an Alfred Hitchcock movie, and that was pretty fun. Every once in a while, they'll let you out to roam for like 30 minutes, 20 minutes, and it's nice to just like walk back and forth and stretch those legs or breathe some fresh air. Order a pizza, who knows? This is the night train from Albany to Chicago. It was a much smaller train, 1 story, no observation deck. It was fine because it's kind of short, but it was chaotic. And y'all, when you have a layover, take advantage. We explored Chicago for the day and then saw the Chicago Union Station. It was so nice. Look at this. You're like in Magicville. You're in somewhere new. That's so magical. You don't have shit like that in a lot of the US. You do in Chicago, and I know that because I have my train layover. Until I got in line, and then it was as chaotic and unromantic as an airport. All in all, it's such a good experience, and I can't recommend it enough. I am in love with it. I've actually gone on the train since doing this because I enjoyed it so much.